Hey, Mr. Averill here, back for some more science demonstrations. So today we're going to be taking some copper and sulfur and we're going to be mixing it together and heating it up in a controlled situation. And the whole point of this is to try to see, does the total mass of our copper and sulfur change as a result of heating it up? So let's have some fun and see what happens. So today we're going to be using 2 grams of copper granular solid and 1 gram of sulfur powder. One of the things that I want you to notice, this is a particular chunk of sulfur, but notice that it is a very fine powder and I can break it up there. And we're going to be using this apparatus. I've already sort of pre-mixed the copper and sulfur into the test tube here, and we have attached onto the top of this test tube a rubber balloon that's securely attached to the top. And we're going to be heating this in a controlled manner. Before we do that, we need to make sure we find the total mass of these contents. So as you can see here, I've gone ahead and I use a 50 milliliter beaker, and I've placed my test tube into the beaker and on the balance, and the balance is reading those values there. So you want to record this in your data table. This is the total mass of everything before mixing. All right, as you can see here, I've gone ahead and I've lit my Bunsen burner. I'm going to be placing it underneath the test tube filled with copper and sulfur. So we're going to be gently heating. You can start to see some changes at the bottom of that test tube. Make sure you watch both what's happening in the bottom of the test tube, in the middle of the test tube, and with the balloon. So now we can see at the very bottom of our test tube is turning a nice bright red, and we're going to go ahead and stop our experiment. You can see we really heated up that copper and sulfur to a very high temperature. Now we're going to go ahead and let that cool, and then we'll remix. I've taken my finished test tube where we've heated our copper and sulfur, placed it back into my original beaker, and there's the reading on the balance. So as you can see, we have a completely different color than what we started with. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to break this test tube and see if we can pull out what we have inside and analyze that a little bit more carefully. All right, I've gone ahead and I've wrapped my test tube up with some paper towels so that when I hit it with the hammer and smash it, the glass won't go flying all over the place. So I've gone ahead and I've smashed it. Most of you are lucky not to be here when we do this, because I can tell you right now it really smells. It smells like rotten eggs, really strong rotten eggs. And so here's what we have left. All right, and so we want you to make some observations here and try to determine, is this something new? Is this the copper? Is this the sulfur? Or is this something new? Whoops. All right, here's a little closer look at what we got. Okay, so there we go. That was the mass of copper and sulfur. What you should do now is, after you've gone ahead and calculated your change in mass, is you're going to want to look at the Power School Learning to find the class data set and go ahead and make a histogram. I hope you enjoyed that little video. Take care. See ya.